Hey guys, Bosco here. We're going to talk a little bit today about how to make sure that you have the most comfortable riding position for long trips. And we're going to do that through talking about the best position for your highway pegs. So more on that in a moment. When it comes to highway pegs, positioning is everything. So when I'm talking about highway pegs, what exactly am I talking about? First of all, there's mid-mount pegs, which usually come in right about here on the bike. There's forward controls, which is what my bike has. And then there's the additional set of pegs where they don't have any mechanical control as it relates to the bike, meaning the brake or the shifter. We're talking about these. Specifically, there are a few different kinds of pegs or highway pegs you can have. Some of them mount directly down here on the controls, so they'll come right out here. There's some that mount right here on the down tube, and then there's these crash bar guard pegs, which I absolutely love. Most bikes nowadays, or most cruisers, have this crash bar, so if the bike rolls over, the bike will roll and hit this and save damage from, or reduce the amount of damage, on the side of the bike. So let's talk a little bit about what you need to consider for your pegs. So first of all, how tall are you? Second of all, how much bend do you want in your knee? And third of all, the motorcycle that you have. So different bikes are laid out differently, obviously. I obviously ride a Harley. But specifically for you, one of the biggest factors is going to be your height and where you can position the pegs. Now, if I get on my bike, you can see that from a practical standpoint, having pegs that mount on my down tube, that's really difficult, right? So there's the down tube right there. Having because the motor's so wide and the way it's positioned in the frame, that's just where I'm going to have something that sticks out from the frame. That's just, to me, it would look so ungodly ugly. Some Harleys have it, mine doesn't, and it would be incredibly uncomfortable. The other thing that you need to consider is how much bend do you want in your knee. So one of the positions that I've got, I keep, I don't know what this angle is here, but my knee has a nice bend in it. Some people like to ride a little bit more straight-legged. So, and for those particular situations, I can do that. But I like to have a little bit of a bend in my knee. That in large part will also be determined by how tall you are too. So then let's talk a little bit about the peg itself. You're going to notice three distinct pieces to the peg itself, right? There's the clamp, which is this part here. It's the part that goes around the crash guard. Then there is the arm, which is this piece right here. It bolts to the clamp, and then there's the peg itself. So you can mix and match many of these. So let's finish up and talk about comfort. We talked a little bit about that already with where you want your leg, how you want your leg to be positioned. The other big thing that you need to consider is how far up or down you want your peg. The further down that you may come, you might be able to rest your heel on the peg. Maybe something like that. Yes, look at my pretty toes. My daughter painted my toenails, so that's a daddy-daughter thing in case you're wondering. But anyways, if you have your peg lower, you might be able to rest your heel on there. Some people really like that. I personally don't. I like to have my foot up and out of the way from the brake pedal and on the shifter. So that's one thing you need to consider. It's actually best to start off setting up on the other side, since you're going to be shifting more than you're going to be braking. You want to make sure you have that up and out of the way, your peg up and out of the way. And you're going to need to make sure that you do that on both sides of the bike. So once you have that set up, put the bike on a stand or a lift, and then take some measurements and really kind of see what it looks like. And then you'll need to kind of position the peg accordingly. one way that you can do that is to have a straight level rest on the top of the bar. Obviously, my bike's on the kickstand right now. You can use that as a way to kind of create some kind of reference point as you're positioning your peg. The biggest thing though is once you have one peg position and the other one in the general vicinity, tighten it up enough so that you can sit on the bike, maybe go for a ride around the block, and maybe out on a long straight country road and put your feet on the pegs and see how comfortable they are. That's going to be the most important thing. And then the other suggestion that I have for you is once you go for the first probably 5 rides, once your pegs are on, take some tools with you to make sure that you can adjust it along the way, because there's nothing worse than having pegs that you spend a nice chunk of money on and not have them right, and then you come back to the house and you're all tired, and then you fiddle with it, or you forget about it till the next ride, and then you say, screw it, I'm going to go with the ride anyways. So just be able to adjust them along the way is my point. Couple of wrenches, ratchet and a wrench, or a couple of wrenches, and you should be set after a few rides. Make it a few rides around town. It doesn't have to be anything too extravagant. And then once you find the pegs, you can leave them set. There's a bonus tip for you that I practice sometimes. So the pegs flip up. It looks like I need to put some WD-40 on these. The pegs lift up so that they run parallel to the crash bar. You can take these off and flip them upside down. If you're practicing drills and stuff in a parking lot, the benefit to that is that when the bike, if it falls over, it'll fall over on the peg. So it'll help out and protect the crash bar a little bit. Plus, more importantly, it'll make the bike set more upright. So when you go to pick it back up, it hasn't fallen over as far and it's less stress on you. Thing you got to remember though is to flip the peg back over before you take off and go home or go on a ride. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a couple of things to consider, and smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.